Well, let me begin now by going straight across to Dr. Pachauri, as I said, the man in the eye of a global storm at the moment. These fresh reports about the latest IPCC blunder, that's how the English paper has described it. They've said that you made a mistake by actually linking in one of your reports global warming to extreme events like hurricanes and typhoons in recent years. Would you like to clarify, sir?
No, we have not made a blunder. In fact, these people are creating a deliberate distortion in my view, because there are two separate things. One is the association of extreme events with climate change, on which there is absolutely no dispute. But on the other hand, what they are talking about is losses from disasters and whether these can be linked to climate change over a period of time. And they're questioning a paper that we have used essentially for coming up with a conclusion on the changes in disaster losses over a period of time. Now, let me explain. Disaster losses don't mean anything at all, because, you know, look at the state of Florida. 50 years ago, if there was a hurricane over there, there would have been massive destruction and perhaps a lot of losses that would have taken place. Today, there are early warning systems. There are all kinds of other measures that people can take to minimize losses, including the construction of their homes. So, you know, to treat that as anything of significance, in my view, is totally wrong. What we should really be worrying about is the increase in the intensity and frequency of floods, droughts, heat waves, extreme precipitation events, all of which is incontrovertible. And these people are deliberately in that article trying to mix up the two.
So you're saying it's actually just diverting from the real issue. Let me just go across to Richard North, correspondent of The Telegraph, not of course the paper which published this article, but which has raised many questions on the reports and the functioning of this UN panel on climate change. Mr. North, if you can hear me, we've seen many climate scientists saying that this is a battle between climate skeptics and scientists. And it's a dirty battle. They say powerful lobbies are behind it, and that's why these attacks have suddenly increased after Copenhagen. What would you say as a journalist in response?
Well, if Dr. Pachauri could actually see me now, I think he would wonder about these powerfully vested interests. I'm a freelance journalist, and I am motivated by exactly probably the same that many people are, is a search for the truth. And the fact is that the IPCC report is not the truth. Dr. Pachauri is defending a losing case because even now, as we speak, the news is already up that there's another major error in the IPCC report. We were looking at the glaciers in Chapter 8. We're now talking about the misuse, and it is misuse, of the data on natural events. And now we see in Chapter 13 that the IPCC has also relied on its claims for the sensitivity of the Amazon rainforests on another WWF report, which is actually written by a freelance journalist and green activist.
Right.
Last night there was an analysis done of the IPCC report. We're still working on it, and there's something like over 20 key references to scientific so-called facts based on non-peer review reports from lobbyists, green lobbyists as wide as the WWF, and even including one of our own countryside lobbyists, the Countryside Landowners Association.
Right. Well, that's an interesting point and a worrying one if you're saying that the reports are not based on actual science. In fact, let me just go.
Tuba.com